What's up with y'all? We back with another video here. Hey, and I'm with my guy, One.
You know what I'm saying? Big One a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We about to answer 10 of the questions that science can't answer, and we gonna answer all 10.
I hope the feds don't really come get us while we sleep.
Exactly. We about to answer all 10 with a perfect explanation.
Yep.
So you gotta be careful.
Explain it.
You gotta be careful.
Yep. We finna really do this, y'all. So let's get this video started.
You know what I'm saying?
10, 9, 8.
Okay. Let's see what we
Welcome to Top 10 Archive. You know, science can be quite the miraculous thing, providing answers to questions that have been around since man started his lengthy path to discovery. But even as impressive as it is these days, there are still those questions that science still can't seem to answer.
Too bad we not scientists.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Too bad we know these
Yeah,
questions.
we not scientists, my guy.
Installment, we're once again visiting unanswered questions by science.
Okay.
Number 10, how does matter exist?
Off the rip. I can tell you, matter exists because without matter, stuff can't matter. You know what I'm saying? So you need matter in order for something to matter. You know,
I see where you coming from, though. I don't think they would see where you coming from, though.
How does matter exist? It exists because you need matter to matter. You know what I'm saying? See,
Like, why would you live if you don't matter?
Exactly.
That's mainly for the folks that, commit.
It's a double
Because
standard.
they feel like they don't matter.
Yeah.
But matter,
Exactly.
okay.
It's a double standard.
Let's pretend for a moment that the Big Bang Theory is the only school of thought on how the universe was created, and we all subscribe to it willingly. Through the Big Bang Theory, an equal amount of matter and antimatter should have been created. These equal amounts would have canceled one another out, leaving a black radiated void where our universe now exists. So, how is it that there was an imbalance that allowed for matter to outweigh antimatter? While scientists have tried to explain it, there's been no concrete reasoning. Is this a point in favor of the school of creationism? Or was there some as of yet unknown process that favored the creation of matter over antimatter? While many look to science for the solid verdict, we're left with more questions than answers. Number 9. What's at the bottom of a black hole?
Oh, A-gang.
That's a good question.
A-gang.
I actually learned about this though. I took a special class and they was telling us everything you need to know about black holes. And I actually figured out what's at the bottom of a black hole is the beginning of a new black hole. But it's also the end of the first black hole.
But I thought it wasn't no bottom. You know how we go to the...
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it wasn't no bottom. At the bottom of the black hole, it's a black hole.
But
You feel
exactly.
me?
But listen, that black hole that's at the bottom is the beginning to a different black hole. But so black holes have to open it and open it. Open it to one and open to the other. They don't have a closing because the closing is opening back up into a different black hole.
But even if it was something at the bottom of the black hole, how would you see? Because it's black. You tell them if I turn all these lights off, you gonna see every light while it's dark.
Realistically,
You know what I'm saying? Realistically, how you gonna see what's at the bottom of the black hole? It doesn't make sense.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Low-key.
That's what I'm trying to get to the world.
When you get down
Low-key.
to the science of them, black holes are a fascinating aspect of space. Their gravitational pull is so strong that anything trapped inside, from light to other particles, cannot escape.
I wonder how
They're
fast
a
black
terrifying
holes
void
go
of
if you, go
inescapable
into it.
nothingness. But the fascination that surrounds
like
them
your
far
phone,
supersedes the miserable thought of every being
You watch this
caught in
video,
one.
how you know they would have somebody fall over like that?
While we know plenty about the black hole, there is one aspect that still remains a mystery. We're aware of the event horizon, the region from which escape is entirely impossible. But what
It looks
lays
like a
in wait
tornado
at the
inside,
bottom of these unusual formations?
Get through.
Yeah.
Popular theory follows Einstein's school of thought,
It's
which is that the black hole never ends, rather reaching a singularity or infinitely small point. Other scientists,
That's kind of
including
what I was
physicist
saying.
Exactly.
Nikodym Poplawski,
I-
believe that the
I'm-
black hole is a conduit between two universes, a theory that is popularly used in Hollywood. Number 8. What is beyond the fourth dimension?
The fifth dimension. You tell me they after all this time, they been trying to figure this out, and I just broke the internet.
All these, I don't know why I didn't expect that.
Hey,
And that's the best answer.
Hey, think about it though.
That's it. You
It's-
think about it.
it makes so much sense.
Why would they stop at 4?
Exactly. It
You know
makes
what
so
I'm
much
saying?
sense that it don't make sense.
It's no Bro, why would they stop at 4? I ain't gonna lie, you really
I
like
just
cooked with it.
We're well aware of the third
what I
and
do,
fourth
man.
dimensions and their properties, but what of anything that may lay beyond them? Did you know that it's believed that there are actually 10 different dimensions?
Bro,
Hey, stop
are you
playing.
a Einstein father?
Hey, bro. Hey, you see what they say? It's 10 dimensions. They mean after the fourth,
It's
it's
the
the fifth one.
fifth.
You see what I'm saying?
There's no
Stop
way you
playing with
can
me, bro. Hey, lock.
Which include 3
Lock.
spatial and
Perfect
4
depth.
for time, can be scientifically verified. Anything beyond is part of a fairly new school of thought that physicists all over are trying to prove. The superstring theory, a theory that attempts to explain the particles
I
and
ain't talking about
forces
us.
of nature
You know, we use
through a
16%
model of
of our brain.
supersymmetric
Yeah,
strings.
Other day, they be using 10.
Theorizes that the 5th and 6th dimensions are worlds not too different than our own. If time travel were possible, it would likely be among these dimensions. In the 7th and 8th dimensions, we'd be introduced to worlds that began differently than ours. The 9th dimension would
So
open
they,
us up to viewing
if
all-
they saying dimensions like in Avengers, you know, when like Earth 22, cause they saying
exactly.
different time. That's what
Exactly.
they saying.
all
wonder what I'm
possible
like in another
universe
dimension,
histories,
man.
including all possible laws of physics. The final dimension, the 10th, is believed to be the all-seeing eye, where everything imaginable is viewable. Number 7. What's behind plate tectonics?
I know this one. I seen this one like, probably back in 5th grade. I was reading it. I was doing an essay for our science class. I think I read something about this.
Wait. What's that say? Hold on, they're gonna give us a little bit more. Like,
Yeah, we need to let
because I'm
insight-
trying to remember it. I learned this a long time ago.
Yeah, facts.
The movement of Earth's many plates is not an arguable point. Parts of the world feel it frequently via minor and large earthquakes.
Right.
But what is it that actually causes the plates to move? It's at least known that the plates aren't moving about randomly or drifting aimlessly, but they're likely driven by a force that has yet to be fully discovered. Sure, most scientists
I
subscribe
ain't
to
gonna lie, I
Harry.
know this game.
What you thinking?
You want me to cook or you gonna
Yeah,
cook?
cook.
I cook.
Go ahead,
Listen,
cook.
okay. So they trying to see why the plate tectonics move, right?
Right.
So like, first of all, we know the Earth is rotating, right?
Fact.
And sometimes it rotate differently. That's why it's a 29th day in February.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when the Earth rotate differently, it causes like irregular things, like earthquakes, but also the sun moves differently too. Like it could be closer or farther, which called the climate change.
So basically, the tectonic is coming from a rupture
Yeah.
in a leap year. So when a leap year, it's messing with the flow of the actual.
It messing with the
Earth.
flow of the whole Earth.
Exactly,
Like, you,
causing it
like
to
my
shift.
whole flow off. You know what I'm saying? Like if my I
Yo,
play this in
when your-
basketball
when your
terms.
move throw it off.
Yeah, you know, like if my coach tell me to shoot with my right hand,
Exactly. And you
it's not
left-handed.
gonna be the same as my left hand shot, and I'm left-handed.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna have this ball gonna have a different rotation,
Exactly.
just like the Earth. You know what I'm saying,
Bruh, this shit too easy,
dang.
bro.
The Hess's
What?
theory that the slow movement of
What?
hot,
Bruh,
softened
I thought they was
mantle
giving us
below
questions
the
that
plates
couldn't be
is
answered.
responsible.
They
But
giving
there
us,
are
like,
still many
scissors
questions. Ultimately, we're left to wonder why only certain regions see the formation of the convection cells that leads to the movements of the plates. And without sufficient data on every aspect of these movements, we may be kept in the dark as to the truth behind plate tectonics. Number 6. How does gravity exist?
Okay.
Gravity is the reason we're able to live comfortably on Earth without floating into orbit.
Right.
It's the driving force that essentially keeps our universe in place and keeps planets, moons, and other space rocks from willy-nilly colliding into one another. Despite its extreme importance, we really have little to no idea how this force came to be. We know how gravity works, thanks in part to some guy, Isaac Newton.
Okay, we know how it works. This is my take. Let me cook real quick.
Yeah.
I feel like gravity. Well, I don't feel like I know this actually because it's just something that just makes sense. Gravity. You know how you know what the firmament is? It's like the dome over the earth.
Okay. I know
I
what
feel
you're
like
talking
I feel like that plays a major role in it because the firmament is if it's grasp if it is what they say it is, it's grasping the entire earth, right? Which means that it's keeping everything compact and in place. So when you put that into play with the inertia is mixing in.
Like you mean like when you say the like what's grasping the Earth, you mean like as like a force field basically?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's causing everything to form into this like you know, it's
That's
everything
why
is sitting down.
That's why when people go to space and start jumping because of no gravity, because they outside the force field.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There is no force field outside of exactly. So I feel like it just really it's all being pressed down. You know what I'm saying? Everything's being it's more of a force than anything. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we're all aware of the relation between the mass of two objects and the gravitational force created by them. But how was the force initially created? Scientists have gone as far as creating the concept of particles called gravitons to explain the science behind gravity's creation. But these particles have yet to be observed. For something so vital to everyday life, it's strange to think there's no solid reasoning for its existence.
It is though. That's
Number 5. What happens after we die?
Ooh.
Let me cook.
Ooh. I gotta hear this one.
Listen. All right. First of all, it depends how you act. I feel like your actions could lead to a better afterlife or worse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I feel like you could get reincarnated, but you wouldn't know anything about your past life. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what? We probably already have been reincarnated a couple times. We just can't remember nothing.
But I feel like after you die, your body stays in the ground, but your soul moves on to heaven or hell.
Wherever,
you know what I'm saying?
Wherever.
And that's just how it is. So, but your body, you know, it just stays in the ground.
Facts.
It's just they don't move.
Me personally,
Or in your, you know, it do move, like, you know, you turn to bones.
Yeah.
Because, you know, your body ain't go, you know,
Facts.
function right.
Facts.
But
Me personally, bro, I'm thinking off the rip, nothing. I just think you just dead. That's my professional opinion.
just blacked out life.
Just, you know what I'm saying? And whatever you did in your life don't even matter. That's how I feel. Me personally, just never know though. That's actually that's the first actually
Question we
difficult question.
That's the most difficult question we don't have.
because like you don't know unless you die. So hey,
But I feel like our creator has to do something. You know what I'm saying? Cause just like, you know, you watch Eternals.
yeah,
I feel like, you know, they die or they get taken up. They creator got to get them.
exactly.
Our creator got to get us. You know what I'm saying?
You never know though. It's a lot of people though to keep.
It's
up
a
with.
lot of people
Every
to
day.
keep up with, but if you
But
created
being a
us,
creator,
there's not a lot for him. You know
That's
what I'm
your
saying?
destiny. That's
you
what
know
you're
what I'm
supposed
saying?
to do.
Yeah.
That's a W.
Some people try not to think of this too much, fearing that all that awaits them is an afterlife of nothingness and blackness. But it's a curious question that certainly warrants a solid answer. What happens to our consciousness at the moment of death? Scientifically speaking, it takes several minutes for your physical body to full turn off. In 2014, a study at Southampton University focused on the possibility of life after death and focused on 2,000 cardiac arrest patients. Of those patients, 40% of the survivors claimed an awareness during the period their heart had stopped, despite the brain shutting down within half a minute. Though the patients' recollections of their resuscitation were pretty accurate, there's no scientific explanation as to how or why these 56 surveyed individuals had a possible glimpse of life after death. Number 4, what is the purpose of life?
Okay.
We don't even gotta start. Yeah.
Okay.
Me personally,
Yeah. What you thinking?
to be a great wholesome person and do what I want. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
And stay relevant.
I feel like the point of life is to do whatever your heart tells you to do.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all got different hearts. So purpose, we don't all got the same purpose. Like we wouldn't go all work at FedEx. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Do
We
what
wouldn't go all.
do what
I
makes
ain't
you
saying
happy.
nothing wrong with that, but it's not for everybody.
Do what makes you happy, even if it don't make nobody else around you happy.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you gonna die by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you gonna be in that casket by yourself, and you gonna move on by yourself. So why not do what you want to do? You might as well. Why is you trying to go your whole life making other people happy?
Yeah.
And in the end, none of that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like, to me, if you have haters, that means you doing something good.
Exactly.
You know
Most
what I'm saying?
definitely. Most definitely.
You doing something good.
Most definitely.
So,
Just
yeah.
like y'all, they be hating on these videos. You know what I'm saying? You
I be doing something good.
it got to be. You giving
Good
you a reason to
time.
hate.
Hey,
That means something working out.
I realized as a content creator, I can't make everybody in the world happy.
Exactly. Just
You know
like
what
as a
I'm saying?
president, I feel like
I try to make a lot of people happy.
Yeah,
but I
that's-
can't make like I want to do what y'all like, but I can't make everybody happy.
you
know
have
what
to
I'm
have
saying?
haters.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I have to.
Yeah,
It's not. You not up if you don't have haters.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Why are we here? What was the point of throwing us into this melting pot we call Earth? Truth be told, this may be a question that just never gets answered, but we can certainly still ask it in an off chance there is some scientific reasoning behind it. Maybe the purpose of life is all about perception and changes from one individual to the next. Or
Right.
perhaps it's written
Okay,
some
but still though, even if it is about that, what does it mean after you dead? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like it's a possibility that it's something way different afterlife in the
Yeah.
afterlife, because I feel like it wouldn't make sense for us to just live a whole life, understand the perception of it, and then just die.
Just forget everything.
Like, what?
You know,
That don't
not-
make
You know what I'm
sense.
saying? That's what I feel like. You know, it can be some good after life, bro. I feel like.
somewhere in our
Weird,
genetic
bro.
code. According to certain physicists, such as Jeremy England at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, our purpose may be connected to a fundamental law of nature, where matter is driven to absorb energy and bud lifelike properties. Purpose then may have nothing to do with our existence and could very well be little more than the product of scientific process. This question has likely been asked by every human to step foot on Earth, and we're likely to never find out the answer unless we have a scientific
makes sense,
breakthrough
though.
to revive
I mean,
people
everybody
from the
wanna
dead.
know.
Number 3, do ghosts exist?
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie, yes.
100%.
I ain't gonna lie, yes.
100%. I've
I ain't
actually
gonna lie,
encountered a couple ghosts in my lifetime, and I feel like a lot of people have, but it's the people, it's the delusional people that don't want to believe they're real. That's always telling people ghosts aren't real. Ghosts aren't real. How do you know? Have you ever not seen a ghost? You see what I'm saying? Think about that. Have you ever not seen a ghost?
I feel like ghosts real. It's just some ghosts be extra. Some
Facts.
ghosts be on their period.
Some
Some
ghosts,
ghosts
they go out their way to be noticed.
Yeah, and some ghosts just some chill vibes.
Yeah,
You know
facts.
what I'm saying?
They definitely exist.
But I also feel like you got to be at a certain place too, though. I don't feel like they just everywhere. Like, well, it could be everywhere, but there's some chill.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to be certain places. Like, I believe in some houses will be haunted. Like, I wouldn't. I believe that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
real talk.
Electromagnetic field detectors, electronic voice phenomenon, ion detectors, thermal imaging. Ghost hunters across the world utilize various scientific methods to try and capture and explain the existence of ghosts, but many still question the viability of parapsychology and any scientific connection to spirits and the afterlife. In fact, the irony of using scientific means of trying to capture spirits is that, according to scientific logic, ghosts don't exist. Is it so simple to discredit thousands of reported claims of the
Scientific
paranormal?
logic. Not
simply
actual
by
logic.
saying there is no
Exactly.
scientific
Scientific
logic
logic
behind them?
a
Though,
principle.
when you consider how much of our existence and the natural occurrences are still shrouded in mystery, the answer to whether or not ghosts are real may lie within the truth behind the Southampton University study we spoke of earlier. Number 2, will we ever time travel? For Doc Brett.
Hold on now.
Will we ever time
on
travel? Now think about this. I got a question to pose. If you had the ability to time travel one time into the future, how far would you go into the future?
I would
Like, would you go like 20, 30 years
No.
or 200-300 years from now? Which one
no.
would you choose?
First, me personally, I'm only going like 10 years.
10 years? Okay, that's a good point. See,
Because
some people,
why would I go 200 years? I'm not gonna be alive.
Exactly. It's not gonna have
I
nothing
feel
to do
like,
with you.
listen, okay, so first of all, I'm going in the future to see how I'm doing, but if I see I'm doing bad, I'm able to change it.
I'm going 30 years.
You
in
know
the
what I'm
future.
saying? 30 years?
I'm going 30 years because it'll be at a point to where I've already been through the most of life, so I'll be able to see like what then went on. I'll be able to see like where I stand at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how my saying it's not gonna matter in 30 years.
Yeah.
So what is gonna matter in 30 years? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I say 12 years because I say 12 years, I'm gonna be exactly 32, right?
Right.
So I feel like 32 is the point where I know where I'm gonna be in life, or I know where I want to be in life, or like right either where my prime begins,
Yeah.
or like I'm already out the prime,
some
or like I'm already said like if this go, I would know how many subs I have by then. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
I would
facts.
know what job I'm working or like what my kids and wife. I would, and if I see myself at 32, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can change that. Like if I see me on the side of the road ask for a couple pennies, like this not gonna be me.
See, I would want to go to like after I made it to a certain point of life. I wouldn't want to see where I'm doing. I would want to see the end result of what I did. See, we just think it a little different.
But I like the way you're thinking though.
We like different routes to the same.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
To the same station.
We still gonna be good either way.
Thanks.
All it
But
took
oh
was
wait, we answered the question.
Will we have time? To
I really don't think so. I ain't gonna lie.
Hard to say, man. Anything is possible. I put it like that. But when it comes to time travel, that's a real complicated thing. They make it look so easy, like in shows. Like
I actually don't think you can time travel to the future. Like,
but listen though,
how can you go? Like,
no. You know how they said you can't just think of nothing that you haven't seen or heard of.
Yeah.
Who the fuck came up with time travel? And it was like, oh yeah, you can just hop in this machine and go into the future or go back. Somebody had to have seen something, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't exactly time travel, but somebody seen something that they gave them an idea of time travel. So I feel like in a way it exists, probably not formally like people think it do, but I feel like in some type of way or form or fashion.
But I feel like if you
it
time
exists.
travel, wherever you time travel, you gonna have to be like like if I go to time travel right now, what I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
I'll have to be like paralyzed, so like freeze, like, cause when my mama come in my room time travel, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like, I gotta be laid down in a machine type stuff.
Just imagine you go to the future and see your future self. Like that's gonna mess up something in between here and now, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like
Like-
it can mess up. Like stuff can really. I ain't gonna lie. You can really mess yourself up.
I feel like me personally, I feel like in a way it exists. Not like exactly how it's like perceived, but I feel like in some type of way it exists.
I don't think. Me personally, I don't think time travel will exist because we ain't even got teleportation yet.
Facts.
And
That's
time travel, I feel like a whole level's above that. Cause we can't even I can't even walk through something and be impaired. We still get stopped by trains.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I'm telling
Like,
you, though.
I feel like time
Area
travel,
51,
like,
bro.
wait, Area 51.
There's a
we
lot
got
of
some
stuff in there we
I ain't
don't
gonna
know.
lie.
We don't know.
was a modified DeLorean, some plutonium, the flux capacitor, and 1.21 gigawatts. But chances are for us to accomplish time travel, it's going to take a bit more than that. We already know that the fourth dimension is time. So the trick is finding a way to break that dimension in some way, right? According to Einstein, time is like a flowing river that's slowed and sped up around bodies like our planets. His neighbor at Princeton, Kurt Gödel,
How did he
added
know so
an
much
aspect
about
of
this stuff?
whirlpools
Yeah, I ain't
to
gonna lie, he was
Einstein's
crazy
theory.
ahead of his time.
According to
That nigga was
Gödel,
too tough.
someone that moves along the
Imagine
rotation would
2025
wind up at the
Albert
starting
Einstein,
point,
bro.
but would have traveled
With an
backwards
iPhone
in
his
time.
hand.
Einstein rebutted Gödel's theory by saying the universe expands instead of rotates. In 1963, mathematician Roy Kerr deduced that black holes were the secret to time travel. Whether any of these three are correct still remains a
We
myth.
never can get to the bottom of a black hole.
Back to
though.
what I was saying earlier, though. You know how I was saying a black hole doesn't have an end;
Yeah.
it just has a beginning into another beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere in between and through that middle into the beginning is the time travel. I also believe.
But I feel like we're gonna have to get pushed out at the right moment.
I also believe underwater could be also a way to time travel because only 8% of the ocean has been explored, and the Earth is 70% water.
Yeah.
So you telling me somewhere? I feel like somewhere in it, like you could go down.
That water stuff will come to a whole different like.
Bro, I swear,
perception for me.
I feel like stuff was coming through there
Like,
from
water
there.
is
Like,
crazy.
water is crazy, bro. Water
Mystery.
is fucking
For,
crazy.
as you can see, we've yet to travel back in time. We'd have to say we'll never achieve time travel because, well, someone would have already traveled to our time by now, right? Number 1. Is there
I ain't gonna lie, that just opened my eyes to a whole different. If time travel was a thing, somebody would have been traveled. But how do we know that somebody hadn't already did it and just ain't said nothing? You never know.
Because if I seen my future self,
That's a sensitive subject, bro. Now this question right here,
this
You're a
is a
god.
sensitive subject.
that we
it was
just know.
inevitable
I ain't gonna
that
lie,
we touch on?
we can't answer this question. Realistically,
Why? Because YouTube.
I mean, it's just a belief thing, you know.
That's a belief thing, and I believe.
So I mean, I believe
So,
too,
yeah.
most definitely. But I'm saying like this a question you.
I feel like y'all gotta witness
This
it
for the chat.
y'allself. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I
this
feel
a
like y'all
question.
gotta witness it y'allself. But I showed y'all, yeah, for me. So make sure y'all like and subscribe. We really answered 10 questions, y'all.
10
You know what I'm
questions
saying?
That science couldn't even answer.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, hey, back to question number 1. We can only answer these questions because God did.
Keep God in your life, fuck nigga.
Oh yeah. Got too tired to sit and went caught the crib in the head. And can't be worried about no female, I'm tryna run up a meal. Instead of counting all these Jacksons, I feel like my friend ain't feel. I just got it with KB, said he Jacob back from Brazil. Just be cooking on these beef like Shetty up on the grill. It ain't too high, count up some money, you gotta have a little skill. I'm a nonchalant door, I really do with your chill.